Industry Insider is only available at Promo Corner, the leader in digital marketing for the promotional products industry. Each Monday, they discuss, dissect, and debate a single issue impacting the world of promotional marketing from every industry perspective. Now, it's time for Promo Corner's Industry Insider.
Welcome to another edition of the Industry Insider, your promotional products podcast where you can get all the nerdy news you need to know about. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA. I'm joined today by three other lovely folks, but look, this broadcast is going to be brought to you today by our good friends over at TechWeld. USA made in a world filled with worry regarding overseas products. They offer many USA made products to help separate themselves from the promotional product pack. My friend Meg Erber, pre-show, was sort of spreading the havoc a little bit about the Delta variant of the COVID virus. So listen, hand sanitizers are still a big deal. If you're not using them, I don't know what you're doing. But look, hand sanitizers due to the coronavirus outbreak, something that's definitely trending worldwide, and the CDC recommends sanitizing and washing hands to help prevent the spread of the disease. They've got many sanitizer SKUs that help combat the spread of the virus, and they've got a lot of FDA compliant products as well. So in a time of uncertainty, knowledge that a product is FDA compliant is key in allowing a customer to feel at ease when placing an order. So be sure to go check them out at techweld.com. That's TEKWELD.com. And since I've already brought her up, why don't we say hi to Panic Meg Erber. Meg
Hi.
Panic.
Hello, my friends. How is everybody doing today?
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah. How are you doing specifically?
Awesome. The audience has said they're feeling really, really good. This is definitely a two-way broadcast, Meg. Stephen McFadden, how are you doing?
What's up? Doing all right.
Awesome.
Hanging in there.
Well, we're joined today by a special guest, Mr. Dustin Wicks. And look, we're going to talk today about PPEF, the Promotional Products Education Foundation. Now, before you tune out, I know we've discussed this before, but this is going to be a much different approach to the topic. And Dustin's got a lot of great information for us, including some of the winners, the review process, and all that sort of thing, because this is all just taken place not that long ago. So, Dustin, it is customary for us around here on this podcast to allow our special guests a good 3 to 4 minute platform to tell us who the hell you are, what you've been up to, how you got started in the promotional products industry, and all that sort of stuff. So go.
I'll allow it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, so 3-4 minutes will be a challenge, but I'm Dustin Wicks. I'm the sales system product manager for Halo. I've been in the industry for about 14 years. I started with Norwood, which then became Bic. Then moved over to Vernon, and now with Halo. So I've done a little bit of everything in the industry, both sales on the sales side, marketing side, IT side, you name it. I've done it, I feel like. But I actually started in this industry. So I graduated from school, from college in software. So I did a lot of programming and started at a startup, a software startup company. And we did pretty well. It was, kind of what you see in the movies, right? So a bunch of young guys listening to hard rock music, coding, and we built a software application, which we were proud of. Turns out we ended up selling that company. So I needed something to do, right? And I was young, and I had an uncle that was in this industry. Talked to him one day, and he said, "Hey, have you ever thought about promotional products?" And I said, "I have no idea what you're talking about." So he said, "Look up on the wall," and he had a calendar, right? And he said, "This is what promotional products are. Here's a calendar, and you put your logo right here." And I kind of looked at him like calendar, like on the wall calendar. And I asked him, does anybody use that? And he started spouting off a bunch of statistics. And I said, "So you guys are looking for someone to sell these?" And he's like, "Oh." So I went to the Chicago ASI show, and that's when it just blew my mind, right? So going from booth to booth, seeing the millions of products. And I said, I can't believe this is a thing. I can't believe this is an industry. And more importantly, I can't believe people make money at it. So at that point, I said, I got to try it. So I went from developing a software program to selling calendars for Norwood. So it was an enormous change. I had a lot of rolling eyes from my family members, but it was great. I loved it. Loved meeting distributors, loved the company. And they call this industry the mafia, and it is. I've tried to leave, but it's not happening. So I'm sticking around for good.
Oh, you like this watch? Here, take it.
Right? That's what I felt like when I'm walking around the Chicago ASI. I think I said those words to a couple people. It felt like I'm going to have a guy come up with a briefcase and like the teeth go across the table. Like it was just amazing to me.
That's funny.
It still is amazing.
What year was that you saw the calendar and questioned, like, is this actually a thing?
2007. right? So think about this, right? I'm coming out of school, software, I did programming, a little bit of marketing, a little bit of business. And the first thing that, I find or see with this industry is a hard copy calendar. And I have my uncle pitching it to me. He's like, think about it, 365 days of advertising. They see the logo right there. And I said, you got to stop. Do people actually use this? And he shook his head. He's like, you wouldn't believe it. And then he started giving me the hundreds of millions of calendars. And it's like, oh my God. So now I started to learn the calendar lingo, right? Of how many times it's looked at, cost per impression, and all of a sudden I'm selling calendars. So I went from programming to selling calendars within like 2 weeks.
Yeah. So real quick, that's always like it's why we ask that question to guests when they come on, because it's always such a fascinating story. Number one, how people get exposed to the industry and what they've been up to, but just like how people have explained it. And it's so funny to see how everybody sort of leads a different way. A lot of people, they'll say that, the mugs and pens, or, a lot of people, like you said, calendars. So it's always an interesting story to hear, and really appreciate that. Really cool.
Yeah.
So we did want to talk PPEF. So why don't you just sort of give us an introduction of what PPEF for anybody that doesn't know what it is, and then we can sort of roll from there, Dustin.
Yeah. So Promotional Products Education Foundation. So I got involved with it. I think it's already been 3 years. And really it kind of stemmed from, I've worked with PPEI Chicago and some of the other nonprofits in the industry, but I've always felt very strong about academics and continuing education. And really, not to go off on a rant, but with the prices, right, the expense of college and how, it seems like it's increasing exponentially every single year. PPEF just really became, kind of a draw for me, just because it's something to give back to the industry, but it's something that really focuses on that continuing ed, right, that continuing education. So what I started to do is kind of reach out and become more and more interested, and then more and more involved in what PPEF is doing. So to give you an idea, this past year, guys, so in 2021, we had almost 500 applicants to PPEF. And then of those, we awarded about 161 scholarships. So it's a significant number, right, that are applying, and a significant number that are receiving. And you're talking almost $300,000 of awards. So it's a huge thing, right, that PPEF does every year, and we're trying to gain, more and more traction, just so the industry individuals know what's going on, know who we are, and probably more importantly, know that they are eligible for some of the scholarship money.
Yeah, that was to be my first question, Dustin. Who is eligible, and how does that eligibility work, I suppose?
Yeah, so industry employees are eligible, as well as their dependent children. And the breakdown, guys, from the, who actually applies is actually, it's pretty even. So we do have a large number of supplier employees, distributor employees, and then business service employees that do apply, and then ultimately that do receive the awards.
That's awesome.
So, is it only for like incoming freshmen, or can Meg Erber's 6 kids that are currently in college actually still apply?
Yep. So we do have, so we break it up. We have 4-year scholarships, and then Megs who are in school can actually apply as well for even postgraduate studies. So Meg, they're not out yet. Yeah.
You're welcome, Meg. I just saved you a bunch of money.
Thank you.
If they're clever enough to be awarded. I mean, Dustin did just say there's over 500 people that apply, but that's still a huge number of recipients. Actually, you said 161.
161, yeah, and almost $300,000. So, and that's nice. Think about that. It's 30% of applicants are awarded a scholarship. There's no other funds out there, right? Usually you're 1, 2, 5%. We're talking almost 30%. And then we have, just so you guys know, we have a large group of industry volunteers that we owe a debt of gratitude to, that are part of that review process. And I've been part of that for now 2 years, and it's amazing. It's amazing to read the essays and what comes from these kids, and what they've gone through to get to where they are. So it's a lot. It's a lot of work for these volunteers, but it's the most rewarding. One of the most rewarding things that I do is just, to be able to read this and then award scholarships to these really deserving kids that are just busting it to get to where they're at.
Yeah, I think that's a really good segue, actually, Stephen. I know that you were, you said you were one of the reviewers or something like
Yeah.
that. Right?
Yeah. So this was my first year getting involved. I had heard about it actually from our podcast the first time we did it, and was kind of looking for different avenues to volunteer. And it was a really neat process. I mean, they have for those that are looking to volunteer, I would highly recommend for a couple of reasons. One, the system that's used is pretty awesome. It basically walks you through the essays with different point scales. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Dustin, multiple people are reviewing kind of overlapping candidates as well. So that way there's averages of scores that are then accumulated and then made final decisions are made off those. But just the stories that Dustin alluded to, it was kind of emotional. I mean, some of them are super inspirational. Some of them are very sad. But it is interesting to know like what kids are going through. You kind of get a glimpse into it in 350 words or whatever it was, of, medical challenges or, different learning struggles and sports involvements. And there's some amazing kids out there. So it's awesome that this exists to be able to award such a high percentage of them.
So Dustin, do you know how many actual reviewees there are? Like how many volunteers you have actually going through that process?
Yeah, we had 21 this past year, and like Stephen mentioned, so it's a multi-review process. So we're reviewing the same just to make sure that if there's biases, or we're at least getting a good handle or a good understanding, so we can average out those scores. But one thing, so Stephen kind of mentioned it, right? The emotional side. Hopefully you got time for a quick story, but just to give you an idea, and everyone listening, the kids that are applying, I say kids, the people that are applying to these, the stories that they do have, and especially this past year with COVID-19, right? We actually had to kind of adjust one of our essays to state, everybody kind of had challenges with COVID-19. So remember that you want to differentiate yourself, trying to tell the people that are applying, don't just dwell on this, right? But at the same time, it impacted people. So you can't ignore it. So this year, I typically, usually on a Saturday morning, I'll grab my coffee and I'll start reviewing, right? And I'm reviewing, and one of these just broke me down. And my wife walks in at that moment and sees me kind of like cowering in front of my computer with a teardrop, like a movie. And she's like, "What is going on?" And I said, "You have to read this." So I'm not technically probably supposed to, but for her to read that, and the same thing, it was like, holy cow. I mean, these stories and what these kids are going through to get to this stage, it's awesome. It really is awesome.
Oh, and that's like, I'm a crier, like easy crier. So I would be, and I know BJ would walk in and be like, "Are you watching those videos again?" Because I sucker for those homecoming videos when the soldiers or the sailors come home, and then it's like, "Oh, they're beating their kids." I watch them every day. I don't know what's wrong with me. He walks in, he sees me crying. He's like, "Are you watching those videos again?" "No, I'm reading scholarships." I'm like, "What?"
You might not want to be a reviewer, Meg.
Yeah. I'd be
like Megs, why are all the people you reviewed all 10s? Like they're all perfect scores.
I know, I'm a sucker for that stuff. So
and that is the hard part as a reviewer too, because you do have to differentiate one from the next. And I found myself reading a bunch and then going back and reviewing some, because it's like, how do I compare it to the next one if I haven't read the next one? So you had to go through, and there's a 2-step review process, Dustin, correct? There's reviews for the 4 years and then reviews for the upper levels. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. So what we do, and we have a few different scholarships. So we have a 4-year scholarship, we have a chairman scholarship, we have a Friends of PPMN scholarship. So there's a lot of opportunity, right? And we actually don't limit it, so we could award scholarships to the same person for multiple. But what we do to help with the review process is the applications are slightly different. So we we divide those up into really two waves for the reviewers to be able to accurately review dependent upon a 4-year scholarship versus not.
So because I know this year with COVID, and I know we had BP on about, fundraising for PPEF, because I know PPAI Expo is typically your guys' big sort of fundraiser and drive. So were you guys able to raise a similar amount of funds this year, even though COVID was in the way? I mean, and how does that really affect what you're able to award and so on?
Yeah, so we're actually really proud of, and thanks for the question. We're really proud of the fact that we awarded more scholarship money this year than last. That's not something that most can say. And I'll also say that we had more applicants this year than last, which is crazy to me, with less employees in the industry. So we are spreading the message, and more importantly, PPEF is holding true to what we are, being able to award that money without sacrificing. So the truth be told is, the incoming as far as fundraiser took a hit because of, Vegas and so forth. So we've pivoted, and we've done a lot of different fundraising efforts, mostly through social, some online efforts. I'd urge everybody out there to visit the website, to check out the different ways that you can help and give back. We just, as an organization, the PPF, we're just very proud that, we took a hit on the fundraising, but we still hold true to, to what we're trying to do for these kids coming into school. So we were still able to give that scholarship money and hold our number of awardees. That's awesome.
And the scholarships themselves, are they typically just donations from suppliers and distributors, like anyone can donate? Can you even give enough to have a scholarship named after you, kind of thing? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, we have named scholarships, so absolutely. But then we also, anybody in the industry, anybody outside the industry is free to donate. And we do a number of different, like I said, number of different events, a number of different drives to be able to, but at any time you can visit our just at our website at PPEF and be able to give back right there. And we do, like I said, with different social media fundraising events that feel free to follow, and you'll definitely get, hit up for the different things that we have going on.
Awesome. Are you able to go into the review process at all? Like what the different, grades are on, what the different things you're looking for are, or is that something that you guys sort of keep closed-lipped to?
No, we can high level it. So we do require a 3.0 GPA. We've relaxed as far as ACT, SAT, mostly because of COVID. So what we do look at is resumes, CVs. So that's part of the process. And then we have essays, as Stephen and I were talking about. So what we do is we provide a weighted average to academic scores, and then we, as compared to the resume, which is part of the review process, and then the essay scores. So we kind of have a multifaceted approach, and then look at those averages to make our final determination. But as long as the students over a 3.0, they're free to apply and then submit that type of information.
Okay. And then you said it was a multi-reviewed process. So how many times is each applicant reviewed? Is it 2 times, 3 times, 5 times?
Yeah, at least 2. So what we try to do, and it really depends on the scholarship, but we at least want to have 2, because like I said, if you get Meg on there and she's crying and give everybody 10s, we got to make sure that balances.
Yeah, I think between both sets of reviews for the 4-year and 1 year, as a reviewer, I think it was broken up into like 34, 32, and 28, something like that. So we did about 70 between both reviews.
Yeah,
so 60, 70.
It's manageable. And that's why we, and again, very much encourage anybody, you could reach out directly to me if you're interested in being a reviewer. We do try to, have a good amount, a good number, but not overwhelming. So we, like I said, this year, right around 20 is usually a good number. And much less than that, it can, suck your time away a little bit, but right now it's manageable. And like I said, we're slowly but surely increasing the number of applicants, which is awesome. We'll just do the same with the number of reviewers.
Do you cap that at all with the number of reviewers, volunteers that you have doing it?
So far, we haven't had that problem. So what we do though is we need to make sure that they have the time available. So
Sure.
Stephen can kind of attest to this. It does take time, and we want people that are reviewing to take the time. This isn't something that you want to rush through, because these are academic scholarships. It's a pretty cool thing to have a hand in it. We just need people that take that serious.
I would imagine you give reviewers several weeks to go through it, right? Or no?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
we'd like to say, overnight, but that's not possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, we schedule it out and then make sure that we have time to finalize and then present the award scholarships. Yep.
Sure. Do you guys have any other questions for Dustin?
I saw a bunch of names on here that I know, and that's always exciting because you want that for your friends and for their kids. And like, Lori Bauer, I saw Chad Rizzo's name. There's actually a lady who I used to call on down here in Bridgeton, Sandra Rodriguez. And I was like, oh my God, I know her. So it's neat when we had Brian on, and I was so excited and pumped up, and I was asking those questions for my kids who didn't listen, so it didn't matter, but I was really excited about it. We put it out there for everybody. We really wanted to promote it and support it from Promo Corner and from Industry Insider. So when you see people that on there, you're just so happy for them. And I'm just it's neat seeing the list of people and all the names. That's all.
Yeah.
I just have one kind of off the wall question, and I don't know if this is a future direction or something that PPEF has plans to get involved in, but I know one of the challenges people always say about our industry is just the lack of education about it. And I'm just wondering, is that something that I don't know if this is the right place or not, but is that something PPEF can help as far as getting, lesson plans at different colleges, or speaking to different colleges, or even connecting people in the industry into the university side? Like, is that a direction that they could go? Or
so it is it's absolutely a subject we talk about actually quite a bit, because if you think about it, right, we're awarding those that are involved in our industry, whether they're a direct employee of the industry or a son, daughter of the direct employee. So I'll say it's stronger than hope, but I'll say the hope is, right, that by contributing, we're starting to spread some of that education. So what we've started to discuss internally too is how best to leverage some of that, to make sure that we want to promote, regardless of the area of study, but at the same time, and you've probably read some of these, you'll read through some of these applications, and there is an interest, of carrying on the legacy of mom, dad, or staying in the industry. Mm-hmm. And that's really what we want to push for. So at the same time, spreading that message, and then, creating that loyalty, which our industry, like I started in the open, the mafia is about the best example, right? So being able to create that and spread that, I think, is a huge part of it too.
Cool.
Very cool. All right, Meg, anything else to add?
No, I had all these questions, but then I was just like so entranced by listening to it all that I forgot them. So it's okay. No. Yeah.
PSA, I guess, if you've got kids and you're in the industry,
I got one.
No reason not to have them apply, right?
Yeah, I was going to say 466 is awesome, guys, but there's a heck of a lot more that could be, so check out the website, whether it's interest in donation, interest in being a reviewer, or interest, holy cow, I got a son, daughter that's going into college. How did I not know about this? Right. Mm-hmm. So check it out and kind of learn more about it, and then reach out, obviously.
So I do have a question. Now, was it mandatory that they all send in essays, or did anyone get creative and do a video? Because I saw Jeff Anderson, maybe it wasn't Anderton now that I think about it. So maybe not, but I feel like his kid would probably do a really cool video and all kind of effects. Did you get any of those? Yeah, no, it's essay because it's pretty locked down, but I'll tell you, there were some that got creative within the bounds of essay, so. Mm-hmm. So it does require you to kind of go through, kind of like Stephen mentioned, we locked it down to make it more of a, process that can be judged equally. But that said, kids are creative. So there is some creativity within those bounds.
Yeah, without going into specifics, there were several people that started to tell a story that I was not sure how it was going to relate to the person at all. And then boom, like it's like they were told it from a different point of view. And I mean, there's some very creative essays that were submitted. So
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Part of it, I'm sure, trying to go through it and read these people's stories and
those are the ones that stand out, right? That completely, besides me weeping in front of my computer, the ones that really, really throw you for a loop, those are the ones that stick. So
very cool.
Rapid fire it.
Yeah, if you guys got nothing else, we'll go into rapid fire, yeah?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'll go first then. First of all, we should say Shannon Loretto, she did, of course, notice Meg's new hair color. So yes. And she did put the little fire emoji, and yes, it was literally fire red-ish.
My hair, I'm just going darker again. The blonde just destroyed my hair, and it wasn't my look. It just wasn't. So I'm going back to brunette.
Darker's better. Darker's better. Yeah. Fair enough.
Thank you, Shannon.
All right. I'll go first. What would Meg Erber's fight name be?
I don't know if Dustin knows me that well, though.
It doesn't even matter. This is
the answer.
The Urbanator.
The Urbanator.
That's a Eric Levin and a Walter name for me. They give that for sure.
Or Megatron.
Yeah.
Megatron. That's a great one, actually.
That's not bad.
That's a great one. I'm gonna go with because of the hair, Meg Firecracker Erber.
Okay. Do I have to give myself one? That's kind of weird.
What did you actually have a ring name?
No, I mean, we always used to kid around because my limbs are so long. They'd be like the gazelle or something. I don't really have one. No, I don't.
Meg Gadget Erber.
Yeah, that's actually
Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
All right, Dustin. What is Meg Erber's fight name?
I don't like Urbanator. I was just thinking we could combine it. Megatron Urbanator. I feel like it's pretty bad. Yeah. I mean,
all right, we'll accept it. We'll accept it.
Megatron Urbanator Erber.
All right, Meg, since you were the topic of the first rapid fire question, why don't you go next?
All right. What is your favorite mafia movie?
I mean, it's got to be Goodfellas, right?
It's a good one.
Could I
can't say
use Departed? Could I do that? It's not really mafia per se. It's kind of.
No, it is. That's
Departed.
That's true. Yeah. Departed.
Why can't you say Godfather?
Because I feel like that's a cop out. That's almost like that's the obvious.
All right. What was the one with John Malkovich?
Being John Malkovich.
It might have been, actually. I don't know. I don't remember. There was a mafia movie that he was in. Forgive me.
That one's your favorite? The one you don't know the name of?
Probably.
Nice.
I'm not, honestly, I don't watch a ton of mafia movies. I would say Godfather. Goodfellas is a great one, but yeah.
I would have to go with Casino. I love me a little Joe Pesci and his little he's a firecracker. Yeah.
Meg the Firecracker Erber loves a firecracker.
Scarface, maybe? That's not really.
Scarface might be a stretch. I feel
that's a stretch. Yeah.
Say hello to my little friend.
Good one though. All right.
On another list.
That's right. My turn?
Yep.
Yeah.
On a plane, are you sleeping, watching a movie, reading a book, or working?
I don't know. Is Nick Merritt watching?
No, I am known for sleeping, and it's embarrassing. I'm so thankful that I get to wear a mask because my kids take pictures of me. I take 2 Dramamine and I drink a bottle of the Dream Water because I get so motion sickness that I will throw up if I don't. So before the even plane takes off, my head is on.
Yeah. So I can't sleep on a plane. The only time I've slept on a plane was to and from China, and that was because it was like mandatory. I would most likely be working or playing a game.
I'm listening to music. Can't sleep on a plane, but listening to music.
Yeah, listening to music's a good one.
Yeah.
Done that. How about you, Steven?
Or pretending, because I don't want to talk to the guy next to me.
Yeah.
Sleeping and or movies. I like, as soon as that TV allows me to click a movie, I'm seeing how long the runtime is and how long I have on the plane and finding a movie to start immediately.
Yeah, fair enough. Very cool. All right, Dustin, it is your turn to ask the Industry Insider hosts a rapid fire question.
All right. So you're given $1 million cash. You can't save it. First thing you spend it on.
Debt?
Come on.
Allowed? Is that a good answer? I
feel like that's another
pay the house.
cop-out.
It's not a cop out though. It's literally the first thing I would do. I'd pay off my damn house. And then I would travel. I would go somewhere. I'd take a big fat vacation. That's what I would do.
I would buy that house in Maine that I've been talking about. And I was just talking to Vinny, my realtor up there. I would drop that house, but I would probably drop it on the nicer one that I was looking at. So yeah, that's what I would spend in a heartbeat.
All over the place. Weren't you talking about Florida like a couple weeks, months ago?
Still on the plate. Still in the. It'll be house 2.
All right, Steven?
Yeah, I mean, if we can't use the payoff stuff, I'm going to go with probably buy some properties.
You guys are too responsible. I'm buying a stick smoker, a trailer stick smoker.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's it. That's all I want. That'll make me happy.
What? I
The
don't
rest
even know
of
what
it,
that
whatever
is.
I'll give to my wife.
Do you have one of those Blackstones? What they're called? Blackstone grills?
So this is another conversation, but I'm trying to get final approvals from my wife on this.
Yeah, I think every man needs one. I think I need to get one for VJ for like the next
Right?
holiday.
I need to look this up.
It'd be
Come
my
on, Mrs.
fifth
Dustin
barbecue.
Wicks.
What's
What?
that?
I said, come on, Mrs. Dustin Wicks. Let him have it.
Yeah, I'm sure she's listening.
All right. Anything else from you guys, or should we wrap it up?
That was good.
All right, very good. Well, listen, this wonderful broadcast talking to you today about Promotional Products Education Foundation was brought to you by our good friends at TechWeld. In USA made in a world filled with worry regarding overseas products, they offer many USA made products to help separate themselves from the promotional products pack. And look, cannabis products has certainly been a huge thing, and they've got a whole line of cannabis products as well. Introducing their new leaf line. So go check them out as well. And on top of that, another thing that is still very popular as people are still working from home. Not everybody is back yet, or the Come Kit Around with Us. It's their initiative to push kits. They've got, kits that you can push out to people, drop ship them to homes, and all of that good jazz. They've got 8 different stock packaging for their kits. They've got an EVA bag, a PVC tent pouch, a PVC tube, an organza bag, a pillow pouch, and the BTL 202, which is a 30-ounce tumbler. They've also got those awesome kick butt retro lunch boxes. So not many players in the industry are focusing too heavily on kits, which really allows them to hone in on the market for those products and really expand upon their already vast kit line. So go check them out at techweld.com for more information. It's TEKWELD.com. You won't be sorry that you did. Dustin, I really appreciate you being on, and I really appreciate what you contribute to the industry through PPEF. I know it's a huge undertaking and takes up a considerable amount of time. So thank you. And thanks for being on with us to share some of the stories.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Oh, and also big congrats, Dustin. Halo being #1 this year. Big congrats. So, I mean, you can pass that to the rest of the guys and tell them I said thank you.
Will do. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah. I can tell them whatever you want.
Thank you and congratulations.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Promo Corner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit promocorner.com.